The smell started slowly, creeping through the hallway. Neighbors thought it was a dead rat somewhere, but the scent kept getting worse each day. Doors stayed shut, windows never opened, yet someone was still inside that apartment, and he wasn't alone, not anymore. Daniel lived a quiet life, always kept to himself. He worked remotely, rarely spoke to neighbors. No visitors, no noise, just silence. Across the wall lived Clara, a friendly nurse. She noticed everything, even the smallest changes. Daniel's routine never changed, until one week. Every morning, Daniel ordered the same breakfast, bread, coffee, delivered right to his door. Routine was his comfort, his control. But one morning, the delivery stayed untouched. The bag sat outside, growing cold and soggy. Clara noticed, but said nothing yet. By the second day, flies hovered nearby. That wasn't normal. Not in this building. Something had shifted, quietly, dangerously. Clara knocked gently. No answer from inside. She listened closely. Faint movements could be heard. Someone was definitely still in there. At night, footsteps echoed slowly across the floor. Heavy, dragging, almost like something being pulled. Clara felt uneasy, but unsure why. The smell grew stronger, thick, unbearable now. Neighbors started whispering in the hallway, but no one dared to act yet. Daniel was seen briefly, opening the door. His face looked pale, eyes distant and empty. He grabbed packages, then shut the door quickly. Clara called out softly, "Daniel, are you okay?" He paused, but didn't respond at all, just silence. Then footsteps fading away. That night, a loud thud echoed next door, followed by scraping sounds, slow and disturbing. Clara couldn't sleep anymore. Days passed. No one saw Daniel again, but lights stayed on, shadows still moved. Something was very wrong inside. The smell became unbearable, like rotting meat. Residents covered noses, complained to management. Still, no one entered the apartment. Clara pressed her ear against the wall. She heard whispering, but only one voice, talking to someone who wasn't answering. "You can't leave me, not like this." Daniel's voice cracked, desperate and broken. Clara froze, heart pounding loudly. Another thud, something heavy hit the ground. Then silence, long, suffocating silence. Even the whispers stopped suddenly. Clara couldn't ignore it anymore. She called the building manager immediately. Something had to be done now. The manager arrived, covering his nose tightly. He knocked loudly. No response again. This time, they used a spare key. The door creaked open. Smell rushed out. It hit them instantly, strong and horrifying. Clara stepped back, nearly gagging. Inside, the lights flickered softly. The apartment looked normal, almost untouched, except for one thing. In the corner, a body, lying still, covered halfway with sheets, pale skin, unmoving, lifeless 4 days. And beside it, Daniel sat quietly. Police arrived quickly, sealing off the apartment. Officers moved carefully, documenting everything inside. Daniel didn't resist, didn't even look up. "Who is she?" an officer asked softly. Daniel stared blankly, then whispered slowly, "She's still here. She just won't wake up." The body belonged to his girlfriend, Maya, reported missing nearly a week earlier. No one knew she was here. There were no signs of forced entry, no struggle, no broken furniture anywhere. Everything looked strangely calm. Forensic teams examined the body carefully. Time of death, at least 4 days earlier. Yet Daniel never called for help. Food containers stacked near the couch, water bottles, empty, scattered around him. He never left, not even once. Neighbors confirmed hearing him talking constantly, laughing sometimes, crying at other moments, always as if someone answered back. Autopsy revealed something shocking, deeply disturbing. Maya didn't die peacefully. Something went wrong. There were signs of suffocation. Detectives pressed harder, questioning Daniel for hours. His story kept breaking, small cracks showing. Something wasn't adding up at all. Then finally, he broke down completely. Tears streamed, hands shaking uncontrollably. "I didn't mean to hurt her," he whispered. They argued at night, louder than usual. Voices rose. Anger filled the small room. Then everything spiraled out of control. He pushed her. She fell hard. Her head hit the floor. A dull sound. She stopped moving. Just like that. Daniel panicked, heart racing wildly. He shook her, called her name repeatedly, but she never responded. Not once. Minutes passed. Then hours slipped away. Fear took over, clouding his judgment. He made a choice, the worst one. Instead of calling anyone, he stayed. He told himself, she's just unconscious, over and over, until he believed it. Days passed. Reality slowly disappeared. He spoke to her, like nothing changed. A mind trapped inside its own lie. Police recorded everything, every chilling word. The truth was finally clear, painfully real. An accident turned into something darker. Daniel was charged, not just for her death, but for what came after. The silence, the days he chose not to act. Clara couldn't forget any of it. The smell, the whispers, the denial. It stayed with her, like a shadow. Because sometimes, horror isn't sudden. It grows slowly, inside human choices. One wrong moment, then endless consequences. No one noticed until the smell started. But the truth had been there all along, living, breathing, and then rotting in silence.